What's up, everybody? It's the Digital World Podcast, and the Cyber Polygon event took place today, and I'm gonna show a few. Sorry, I can't even talk. I'm gonna show a few clips of Klaus Schwab talking, and pay close attention to what he's saying because this is very, very important. Because if you remember that clip I showed by Dan Pena talking about Black Swan event, I mean, if anything is a Black Swan event, it's gonna be this cyber attack that's going to shut off everything. Like Klaus Schwab said in that very popular video that's been going around, a comprehensive cyber attack that shuts down everything, that everything would come to a screeching halt, would make the pandemic seem like a small disturbance. Now, let's get right into it. Take a listen.
Develop secure digital ecosystems. It is remarkable how quickly this goal has become so important around the world. 3 years ago, we initiated our Center for Cybersecurity at the World Economic Forum. We recognized already then the crucial importance of cybersecurity as a global issue and as a corporate challenge. We did not expect, however, that digital connectivity and cybersecurity would come to support and influence every aspect of our business and social lives.
Every business and aspect of our social life. So it's everywhere. Okay, so if something happens, everything gets shut off. Next clip.
It allowed us to realize incredible efficiency, even in a world where we worked remotely. It is not an overstatement to say that it has enabled us to continue to function during a time of unprecedented crisis. Technology has been central to the way we have collectively managed the COVID-19 pandemic and the global crisis. Digital infrastructure made it possible to deliver essential services. It helped business to run. And it helped us to maintain the life.
Okay, so there's that clip talking about more on how it's helped a lot through this pandemic. So it's a technology is a very important factor in everything that we do. Next video.
Infrastructure breakdowns in its top 10 risks, both by likelihood and by impact. The implication is clear. A lack of cybersecurity has become a clear and immediate danger to our society worldwide. We have seen in the past few months, for example, ransomware attacks targeting hospitals, critical infrastructure, school systems, the power grid, and many other essential services. Citizens are feeling infrastructure.
And he literally, in that other video in which he talks about it, that the same popular video I mentioned earlier, that if you can imagine hospitals being shut off, no one could get access to them, and if critical infrastructure was completely blacked out, it would create such chaos. And now he's talking about that, and he mentions the ransomware attacks that have been happening, the oil pipeline, the JBS meat industry, and then there's recently been one with $70 million, and there's another Bitcoin one that happened. This is happening all over the place. We're seeing it, and he's pointing it out here. Pay attention. He's literally telling you, and he's saying that this is something that you can't ignore. It's happening, and it's only going to get bigger. Here's the next clip.
Cyber attacks causes. This is not a problem that is easily solved. Ransomware attacks are complex, and criminal enterprises are increasing their scale and impact. This highlights the need for a structured, multi-stakeholder, multilateral approach to secure our society against some. In this, we must all work together. Governments are in charge of guaranteeing security, but the deep.
And if you haven't noticed, all the nations of the world have come together on this pandemic issue. But what happens when there's a cyber attack that happens globally, where everything goes offline? You don't think that nations will come together and work together on this? It's a frightening scenario because, I mean, I'm not gonna go into more details, but it's no longer just one nation doing their own thing. It's now everyone coming together. And that could be a good thing, but I'd be very careful with that because it could, lead to a, one world order type of scenario, and that is something that, you know, could have a lot of problems. There could be a lot of problems with that. Anyways, moving on to the last clip of Klaus Schwab talking at the Cyber Polygon. And folks, on this channel, you're gonna get the straight facts and people saying it. And I show you the things so you see that it's not coming from my mouth. It's from the leaders who are talking about it. And this is to educate you, to help you learn and see the current trends of what's happening. And don't be deceived by the mainstream narratives that are out there.
I would like to state again how essential it is to see the high number of leaders that join the Cyber Polygon this year. During the course of today, we will test how to work together across organizations, across borders, and across the public and private sector. This is a significant step in preparing for an even more highly connected and I hope a highly secure and trusted future. I wish you every success.
Now, when they call for peace and safety for everyone, and this is not just one nation, this is all nations of the world, is when you should be scared. Because that's quite the contrary, the opposite is going to happen. It's almost like a moral hazard. The more they try to prevent one thing, the more likely it is to happen. And so that was Klaus Schwab. And I hope you guys got a little bit of good information from that. Now, we're going to see here that the White House, the U.S. will take steps to protect itself from cyber attacks. Okay? And this is coming after the Polygon Cyber Conference was completed. Interesting. So this is gearing to become a common theme that's going to be pushed, and you're going to see more ransomware attacks. It's just the beginning. And if I have to remind you, check this video out of multiple clips that I've showed multiple times, and take a listen because you're going to want to hear this.
There will be another crisis. It will be more significant, and we need to actually start preparing for that now. When we do see this next crisis, it will be faster than what we've seen with COVID. The exponential growth rate will climb, be much steeper. The impact will be greater. And as a result, the economic and social implications will be even more significant.
Even more significant? What is this next crisis that we just heard Jeremy Jurgens, Harvard-educated managing director of the World Economic Forum, describing? Well, now let's hear it from Klaus Schwab himself.
We all know, but still pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack. To use the COVID-19 crisis as a timely opportunity to reflect on the lessons the cybersecurity community can draw and improve our preparedness for a potential cyber pandemic.
Yes, a cyber pandemic. And before we even talk about what that is, I just want to again appreciate that we just heard two leaders of the World Economic Forum promise that we are going to have a new crisis soon that dwarfs COVID, which has already spelled the end of the world as we know it. So this is something
So that's what it is. And folks, I mean, this is serious. And what's happening is underfoot and it's only growing and growing and it's going to happen. So on this channel, we stay ahead of it and we learn, we prepare for the things that are coming. And this is just the beginning, but you that are here and watching this are ahead of the curve, as I've said before, because you're learning and you're watching this stuff happen. You're not blind to it. I hope this episode has brought you some value. Like and subscribe, comment below. What are your thoughts? As always, I like hearing from you. This is the Digital World Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.